When there is no need to try to let go, not letting go, all the same. Everything is balanced without flaw, all the same, without differentiations and division through the mind at all. It will be without flaw, all the same, evenly, with everything. When you think of trying to let go or not letting go, that's the thought that creates troubling in itself already. It creates differentiations, discrimination and pressuring. This is the act of the suffering that is arising. Make a conclusion with the Satya Dharma, not the Satchakam, the karmic truth, not the karmic truth. Everything all the same. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same. There is no need to try to engage or disengage from anything. Everything doesn't have letting go or not letting go. It doesn't have in its nature already. So you have to think the word everything, because everything is the conclusion towards ending. It's not in the way that having to do with anyone's way, your way, my way, their way. This is the terminology that is the precedent. The word everything is not having anyone's ways, not my way, not your way. It's everything. You see? It is the great thought. It is the precedent of our thoughts. It doesn't create differentiation or unnatural way, because it includes everything. It's not anyone's ways, not my way, not your way, not their way. It's not one's own ways or others' ways, not any which ways. Everything. No need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same with everything. There is no need to try to attach or detach. There is no need to try to liberate or not liberate, all the same with everything. This will not be unnatural from the true nature of everything, that there is no differentiations already as it is. There is no discrimination already as it is. When you give differentiation because you give it yourself, there is no differentiation in its nature already as it is in everything. There is no meanings, even the meaninglessness itself in everything. But you give meanings by your own ways, your own thoughts. The desire misleading it. That's why there is the delusion in learning, in practicing. This is the act of the suffering in the practice continuously. How can it end? It ends where it's trying to end. If there is the attempt to end, it's not yet ending, because that is the thought that is arising. With everything, there is no need to try to end or not end, all the same. There is no need to try to end or not ending with everything, all the same. And that is ending for both the attempt to end or not end. Therefore, there is no slow or fast. Who is enlightened fast or slowly? There is no such a thing. The speed is the delusion of thought. Look at all things. There is slow or fast. Thinking that is gonna be impossible to catch up, to be enlightened at the same time. This is the desire that is creating fear. Proceed all the same. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same. There is no need to try to liberate or not liberate, all the same. It will not become unnatural from all things. The true origin doesn't have liberating or not liberating. You make yourself to differentiate from all things by yourself. You make yourself unnatural from all things by yourself. Even you are living with it. You make your body mind differentiating from it by yourself. That's why it's troubling. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same. There is no need to try to attach or not attach, all the same. There is no need to try to relate or not relate, all the same. This will be the same essence, in balance, all the same, without flaw. No need to say that Nibbana is as it is. There is no such a thing as Nibbana or not Nibbana. If you don't give meanings delusively to Nibbana or not, it will not be created in the ideas of Nibbana or not Nibbana. You call Nibbana when there is no defilement. You call the nature Nibbana because there is no defilement in all nature. It doesn't call itself Nibbana. Listen carefully. The true origin of all things doesn't have meanings as Nibbana or not, pure or impure. It doesn't have meanings as meaninglessness itself. That's why it's called Satya Dhamma, of the true origins of all things. That's why there has been offsight further and further from the true origin, that there is no more whistles to blow any longer, always throwing out offsight further and further, on and on. Always seeking, always persevere further and further. Simply say, always creating the new kinds of Nibbana. Listen carefully. It's not about return to the true origin either. Otherwise, there will be something that is returning, like the acid reflux. Still acidic. This is not about returning to the true origin. Don't let the desire overlaying. What is it that is returning, refluxing? What is it that is returning to the true origin? This is the desire that is misleading. Why is it to be true original or not in whatever ways again? Already said, even meaninglessness doesn't signify as meaninglessness. So don't be fixated to opinions and meanings as the true origin at all. Fixated to the meaning of the true origin. That is the true origin in the way of imagination. The true origin doesn't even exist. It doesn't have meaning as the true origin. If you say the true origin is purity, actually, when you say that, it's already impure, because the desire make up the opinions in such a way. Saying that is pure is not impure, because the thought creates it by itself. The true purity doesn't even exist, because there is no meaning as pure or impure. That is the true origin of all things. Whatever they say that is pure is not truly pure. It's fake. It's made up. The true origin doesn't have pure or impure. When it's there, it's because of it's fake. It's made up. Both pure and impure. It's made up by the desire. Made up and mislead opinions and meanings. That's the act of the suffering within opinions and meanings. That's why there's always hysterical crying about already pure or impure. This is the training of the desire. That's the act of the suffering that's always there. Let's go beyond being pure or impure, beyond opinions and meanings, both pure and impure. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same. There is no need to try to be pure or impure, all the same. Trying to end from karmic difficulties and karma, trying to end from the defilement. This trying to end is not ending within the trying itself. It's the desire that it is elaborating and misleading itself to do so. There is no need to try to end or not end. Don't let the desire misleading you, so that it will not become the act of the suffering within the mind. Otherwise, it will create citta kiramatthana yoga, making the mind in difficulty. Is there in any textbook about the citta kiramatthana yoga? Actually, there is in reality, but it doesn't exist in the textbooks because the Arahants doesn't write it. The Arahants say, and that's it, it's bygone. But the commoners always thinking further. They like to use the word imaginable, unimaginable. Once you think, it's already gone further. The Arahant says, not right, and it's bygone. The commoners use elaboration of thought and opinions. When it's unimaginable, it will not be written. But whatever that is beyond the habits of the desire, it will not exist in the written thing. So the written thing is derived from the desire that is elaborating. The Arahants pass on words only. Even the first revision of the Buddha's reflection is also by words, no written at all. Just revise from the memories of the reflection of the Buddhas, and then with the conclusion all together among the Arahants. That's the first one of the revision of the Buddha's reflection. No written, no elaboration to write at all. So that is beyond the habits of the desire, will not appear in the textbooks, because it is beyond the habits of the minds, beyond the patterns. In order to contemplate, analyze, and thinking over, you have to have the desire that creates it with opinions and meanings. Otherwise, it won't be. And it will not come out in the forms of textbooks. Textbooks. Listen like this, it's bygone. How can you write it down? To write down, listening and writing down, you have to use the desire to elaborate it, to write like this, like that. And it's gonna be distorted further and further. In the era of the master, you have to listen and it's bygone, not grasping from the listening. The later generation is not the generation of original. It's just copying repeatedly. At first it looked like copying from the master, but it's not real, it's not true. Copying repeatedly, how can it be exact with the master? It's so distorted. It's not original. The truth will be faded with such repeated copying. so many generations of copying. It's called the karmic truth, karma within Dhamma. Even you say yourself is not it. To say that they said, the head doesn't have horns, but putting horns on one's head is not heavy when there are no horns. When you say yourself is not it, it's worse when you say they said. Listen carefully. It's not about even this is it or this isn't it. When you are deluded to say that it isn't it, it's not it. The true origin doesn't have yes or no, this is it or this is not it. There is or there isn't like this. It's because of the desire elaborating this kind of opinions and meanings. And that becomes the desire of karma. Opinions and meanings of karma, the acts of the suffering, citta, kiramatthana yoga is arising, making the mind in difficulty, making the state of mind in difficulty. Citta kiramatthana yoga is not in the textbook, but it actually exists in the reality of the mind. The desire misleading, the desire trying to practice. That's why it exists in the context of the reality that happens with the situation of the mind. So proceed all the same. There is no need to try to engage or disengage. There is no need to have to or not having to. There is no need to expect or not expect. There is no need to preserve races. There is no need to preserve nationalism, realms of existenceism. There is no need to preserve any realms of existence or anything whatsoever. Because when you do that, you will just robbing, grasping for something that is not about grasping. Everything is deteriorating in itself as always, decaying in itself as always. It doesn't grasp even for itself, but you always grasp it. It's called robbing, stealing, wanting to grasp. It's like grasping for something that is not about grasping. The decay is always there, but you try to preserve it. This is called stealing, robbing. That's why there is the act of suffering as always in the whole samsara. In the whole samsara, leading towards practicing the act of the suffering in all forms in the whole samsara. All the same, no need to try to let go or not letting go. This will not be wrong and distorted from the true origin of all things. There is no need to try to attach or detach, all the same. There is no need to try to engage or disengage, all the same. There is no need to choose to grasp or not grasping, all the same. The thing that is about not grasping is already grasping. There is no need to try to grasp or not grasp, all the same. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, all the same. There is no need to try to give up or not giving up, all the same with everything. The true origin doesn't have purity or impurity. So don't be obsessed with the idea about having to purify oneself like this, like that, purifying oneself with precepts like this, like that. This is the desire misleading it. This is the desire that is misleading towards the cause of the suffering. This is the cause of the suffering itself. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go all the same. There is no need to try to liberate or not liberate all the same. It's not about having to or not having to. It's not about expecting or not expecting all the same with everything. There is no more differentiation or discrimination already. This will naturally end all the suffering. Just about the craving to let go up to the head is already done, because this is going to be across lifetimes and Buddha eras. This kind of habits that is up to the head like malaria. Just disengage without trying to engage or disengage all the same with everything. Proceed all together in a way that is no need to trying to engage or disengage all the same with everything. This is ending all the attempt to attach or not attach. This is the essence that is natural, essence of the true origin of everything. This is beyond opening already, beyond opening already, beyond the brightness already right now, beyond even the beyond itself already. Because there is no conditions within opinions and meanings. Having to let go or not letting go, having to end or not ending. This is no condition, no bindings with conditions of opinions and meanings. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go, ending or not ending with anything. There is no need to try to let go or not letting go of anything. Earth, air, water, fire, all things, there is no such a thing to having to let go or not letting go in our nature. But samsara is doing it, making trouble delusively with the body and minds. Everything. This will end the practice of the act of suffering. Everything. Don't be obsessed to the narrowness or expansiveness. Everything is beyond narrowness and expansiveness. It's infinite. Once you think of the word everything, there is already infinite. There is no limit. Let's not be limited with anything whatsoever. Everything has no limits. It's infinite. To be limited is narrowing down to such a thing. It is a kind of act of suffering to delusively specify. It is the act of the suffering in itself.